it's important to support your live music scene wherever you are in the world. And we are going to do something for our live music scene, or for perhaps the live music scene in Belfast in just a little bit. We're going to be speaking with Luke Mathers, who is from the band Unquiet Nights. They're releasing a brand new album on December 11th. We'll be speaking to him in just a little bit. You're listening to The Justin Wayne Show. We'll be back with Luke Mathers in a moment. Indeed, once again, Nick Tan, how do you sleep? Nick has been busy. He's been a friend of the show for a very long time. And another person who's been a friend of the show for a very long time is is connected with us now. His name's Luke Mathers. He runs a band who is brilliant. How's it going, Luke? Unquiet Nights. Why did I just had a moment there? You'd think I don't have my notes in front of me, but I do. How are you? How are you, Luke?
I'm doing great over here. What about yourself?
Good. I'm doing good. So the last album we had of yours was 21st Century
Redemption Songs. Yeah.
That's right. I think I called it 21st Century Redemption for a long time.
That's fine.
It seemed, I don't know. I'd like to rename things, especially things of yours and of and David Jordan. But that's neither here nor there. You've been doing some stuff. You've been doing some stuff in Belfast. You've been doing some stuff in Italy. What have you been doing lately? Obviously, you've got this new album coming out, Postcards in Real Time. Where did this album come together? Was it in Belfast?
It was kind of the same process, really, for the first album. That I do a lot of my recording here in Northern Ireland in the studios, and I kind of take it with me to Italy and spend months procrastinating and editing it together and stuff. But most of the live recording was done in Northern Ireland.
And that's where you have most of the band is Northern Ireland, aren't they?
No, actually, I've been touring with the band in Italy for the last couple of years.
Ah.
So they're there for the live stuff. But we met in London one time, you and I, and
This is true.
I had a band with me from Northern Ireland.
Okay, so I'm not completely crazy. That's good. He's doing a very good job of making me seem like I know what I'm talking about. Will you tell us about the record label that you've created, because you're doing a lot of the work, a lot of the promotion work, a lot of the radio plugging and stuff. You're all doing yourself, aren't you?
It's a label collective. It's called Essential Credential. It's not really a secret that a lot of independent artists are doing that and having as much success sometimes as a label. So there's no reason why not to do it. Well, it was the only choice to start anyway.
Sure. Are they involved with it every day, or?
Yes, the music synchronization part, which kind of runs concurrently with my Unquiet Nights releases. But it's not only Unquiet Nights music, it's a few other things as well. And then there's the release of the records and some PR work, which is very annoying and time consuming, but it's probably the biggest part of it still.
Sure.
Bothering people like you all day.
You don't bother me. I think I probably bother you because I don't get back to you right away sometimes. Do you have a couple of pieces of advice for any artists that are thinking about going? Because you guys do a good job. I'll tell you that, because we get a lot of stuff in. A lot of PR people bother us, as it were. And a lot of them are just bad. Professionals, too. So, what kind of advice would you give to a band that was thinking about doing this on their own?
Well, you have to be very persistent, but don't take advice would kind of be the thing, the first thing. Because there are a lot of people who, as soon as they get on board, with your band, your act, they'll want to tell you how to present yourself, and you can very quickly be taken away from, what your core ideals were to begin with. That's personal experience. So
Sure.
With the PR companies, they'll tell you this track has potential, but if it had a much shorter intro and the chorus happened here, and then you lost this and you added this, they start to rework your stuff and try and get known on your own terms rather than other people, because their interests can be very fleeting. And then what are you left with?
You're talking about a company trying to rewrite a song? Did that really happen?
Oh, yeah, it does. Whenever you talk to PR companies, they'll say you could give them X amount of money to try and get your radio playlisted and stuff, and then they'll come back. They'll say they like this track, but if the singing started at 14 seconds instead of 22 seconds, it would have been because it's more immediate now and such a band are coming back and all this kind of stuff. The production meetings, it's really unpleasant if you talk to people in the music industry proper and they have too many ideas about how your music needs to sound and how your promo photos need to look and how your bio needs to be written.
Wow.
And the things you should be doing.
I was actually talking about this recently and with a few people in the music biz, and we were complaining about how it's got. It just seems like everyone now fancies themselves producers. Do you experience this a lot?
Yeah. Well,
So people,
maybe
they're not professionals, but they believe they can be producers. So they're editing tracks left, right, and centre, even though that's not actually their career.
True, although that probably happened in the 60s too. Managers and people that got above their station. And well, Prince said, let the baker bake the bread, because too many people were being involved in Prince's music and stuff. But yes, it's true. Especially anybody who you pay, in the industry, if they're giving you advice or they're trying to manage you or something, they just have to stick their oar in one way or the other.
You think they'd be happy with taking their money and doing their job instead?
Yeah, but then, if they don't do their job, then it comes back on them. So they try and blame it was the music all along.
Interesting. You've been on Radio 1, haven't you? You guys should have said something played on Radio 1. And
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had 4 of the 6 major networks in the UK. Absolute, 6 Music and Amazing Radio. Yeah. Well, the playlisting is different. And also, every month that goes by, I just see less and less opportunity for independent music to actually get on the radio. What was there last year isn't necessarily there now.
Right.
In terms of avenues into radio.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's play one of your songs. And this is the song that this is not the same version of the song that I think this was like 2 years ago, wasn't it? Or a year ago that we played George Best City?
No, this summer.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like so long ago.
This summer.
It seems like so long ago. I think I tried to explain it, but I'm not British, so maybe I did a poor job. But will you explain the song for us? The song's called George Best City, which is, as well as being the most famous soccer player ever, probably, it's the name of the airport in Belfast, George Best City Airport. So I could attack explaining it in terms of who he was or in terms of what the song is to me. It was a conversation I had with a stranger on an airplane through the constant traveling backwards and forwards, because Ireland in general and Northern Ireland especially is such a small country that if you want to make it in music, you have to leave and come back and leave. And I find myself having this conversation with a stranger on one of the planes from there. And I suppose it's about the experience of returning home. I'm using his career and life as a slight metaphor too. And it's not about Pete Best, the fifth Beatle. Oh, that was what I said, and I was completely wrong, because I don't. Fair enough. Anyway, let's hear it now from the album Postcards in Real Time, which is going to be out
December 11th.
December 11th. George Best City, Unquiet Nights. We'll be back with more from Luke.
Strangers give the best advice, and I'm only trying to make it through this life. Every time I needed money to run, I always did what needed to be done. .5 minutes and it's starting to click, just how my skin became so thick. The bravest city in the world, I hope she gets what she deserves, but I'm just trying to make it through this life. Flying in the George Best City tonight. place can seem a little too small, and you can read the writing on the wall. But I can't deny what I came along, and everything about it seems to glow. Crossing the east bridge, I was caught in the breeze. Leaves were brown and falling from the trees. The bravest city in the world. I hope she gets what she deserves, but I'm just trying to make it through this life. Flying in the George Best City tonight.
From the upcoming album, Postcards in Real Time, Unquiet Nights just then, George Best City, Luke Mathers, lead singer, songwriter, label chief, licker of stamps and other things as well, is on the phone with us still.
That's the most enjoyable part.
the licking of the stamps?
Stamps, yeah.
Someone told me once that like if you lick enough stamps, you get like a weird high because the adhesive is, I don't know.
Yeah, it's meant to be very bad for you.
That explains it then.
That's why you like it so much. So, will you tell us a little bit there's still troubles in Northern Ireland. I think we talked about this last time you were here on the show. But
Did we?
what is it like?
Maybe off.
What's that? Oh, perhaps.
Maybe we talked a bit off the air, but
is this something you don't really like to discuss very much?
no, not at all. I mean, you can see the track titles on the album.
Right.
I just find that it's something that brings other people down if you talk about it. I'm conscious of other people getting very morose.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a few songs on the album which are definitely to do with that autobiographical stuff. The last track, I've already shot a music video for, which was on top of the roof of the hotel here in Belfast, the Europa, which is the most bombed hotel in Europe.
Wow.
And I kind of chose it. The song itself is about something related to that as well. So we got to shoot a video on the roof, which is coming out soon. But that's about a bomb scare that happened. As a kid, I remember being evacuated from British home stores a few weeks in a row. And everything in the song is just autobiographical.
Sure. That's interesting. What's it like being a musician in Northern Ireland? Is the music scene still thriving and stuff like that, or?
Well, it always produced a lot of musicians, but they tended to make their name elsewhere. You know, they'd go to America or go to mainland Britain or whatever to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's as strong in terms of the amount of bands it is producing as ever, but we've kind of got some industry now, whereas before there weren't really any labels or publicists, or there's a lot of studios and people that are involved in Hollywood film scores and things. You know, it's all popping up around a few creative buildings and stuff in Belfast, and there's a lot of investment, and I guess bands like Snow Patrol have attracted a lot of attention recently.
Sure. Oh, that's
I haven't actually been here, as you know. I've been away for 5 years, so I'm kind of watching it from afar.
Mm-hmm.
But it is encouraging. There's a lot more to see if you visit the city now in terms of music.
Sure.
And we're getting a lot of the touring bands, because in the 90s there wasn't much in the way of touring. The bands wouldn't come to Northern Ireland until we had the ceasefire and stuff. So,
sure.
But now it's just a regular part of the circuit.
Fair enough. It should be. Well, does the title of the album, Postcards in Real Time, have a significance as well?
Not below the surface, I don't think. It just, I wanted something that described the immediacy. The songs are mostly in the first person, in the present tense, and they're kind of disparate. There's not much linkage between each track to the next. So I just wanted to kind of give the idea that each song is kind of a snapshot of that person in that time, and then move on to something else. So that's really all it is.
Sure. And we're gonna play one more song from the record, and you'd mentioned potentially your favorite song, so I thought that's a good one to go with. And it's a longer song, which you were worried about, but it's a podcast, so we can do whatever we want. So let's play a long song. So tell us about this last song. No, we should also mention that you're gonna be playing the 30th of November in Dublin, so right before the release of the album. I would imagine you'll probably have hard copies on hand to sell to people if they want to.
I hope so.
That's the hope. Okay.
I hope so. Well, we have a flash drive. We have the whole discography is on a USB flash drive.
That's cool.
If we don't have the physical copy of the CD album itself, we have our own branded flash drives, which
Neat.
People can get.
Awesome. I might have to buy one of those. That sounds cool. Claire's like, Justin likes things. Look out.
He does like
That's
things.
A thing. Yeah.
Especially if it's shiny, and they are.
And if you don't like the music, you can wipe it. You can delete our music off. Put Foo Fighters on it or something.
They're not miles away from what you guys do, I suppose.
In revenue, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, at least my leg's not broken though.
That's true. Indeed.
So I could run around. So this is More Than These Eyes, which is track 3 off the forthcoming album, and it's 6 minutes. And it's not queued up, I don't think either, is it?
Oh no, I was going to say, do you want to tell us a bit about this tune and why it's your favorite?
There's something perverse about a 6-minute track. The first album were all short, snappy things. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit more guitar in this one, which I found those were the things that were working more live. Once you get to breathe, the song gets to breathe a bit more. I just feel the audience getting a bit more into it and stuff. So I thought, let's stretch out one of these songs a bit on the second album and see how it turns out. And I liked it, so it's on there.
Excellent. Luke Mathers from Unquiet Nights. Thanks for spending some time with us today. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Claire.
You bet.
Oh no, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You're always welcome, Luke. You can darken our doorstep whenever you like, our digital doorstep or whatever.
But not the real one.
Sure, you could. Yeah, I'm in Montana now. I'm in Bozeman, Montana. I don't know if you do that, but
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll see you there.
I've just reminded myself I need to go stoke the fire so it doesn't get cold in here on our wood-burning stove. But the album's called Postcards in Real Time. It's going to be out on December 11th. If you were in and around Dublin on November 30th, what's the venue? Where are you guys playing in Dublin?
It's called Whelan's. It's quite a well-known music bar in the city centre.
Excellent. Whelan's. Cool. Well, thanks for spending some time with us. Unquietnights.com if you want to find out more about them. If you want to buy the other albums, you want to get a USB stick with all the songs on it. I'm sure certainly not the USB stick with this album is available yet, right? We have to wait to December.
If you buy the USB flash drive, you'll get the whole discography right up to including the second album and all the singles and the first album. Yeah, so that's kind of a little bonus for the people who will actually pay us with hard cash instead of the iTunes people. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, so the flash drive has got it all.
Yeah, and then you could literally do whatever you want. It's only 10 quid. Really?
Yeah, and not just MP3. We have the lossless FLAC for the Mac people as well, the high fidelity.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, like Bandcamp.
Indeed.
So
good.
Those people that have the high quality sound systems and everything and need to have the lossless.
It does make a difference. It does. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, they look great too. They're cool. They look really neat. They are shiny. There's parts of them that are shiny. They're black, but there's parts of them that are shiny. Anyway, this is called More Than These Eyes, unquietnights.com. Go check out more. Thanks a lot, Luke.
Hey, it's Chris from Canada, and you're listening to The Justin Wayne Show.